The first thing to think about when planting a new tree is where in your yard is the best spot. We recommend identifying that location before selecting the type of tree to plant. To help us do this, we will join up with Erin Stevens, leaf arborist. Before we talk to Erin, I recommend you print off the Right Place worksheet found in this lesson. On the sheet, you will find a checklist and space to sketch your yard. Hi Erin, why do you recommend selecting a planting location before deciding on what type of tree?
To get the most out of your new tree, you want to find one that is suitable for your conditions. This includes soil type, how much sun the location gets, and how much growing space is available. For example, too often you see large trees planted under wires or too close to buildings. They do well for the first 5 to 10 years, but then spacing conflicts usually arise. To deal with these conflicts, trees are extensively pruned, which causes a lot of stress on the tree. In some cases, the tree even has to be removed.
So Erin, what is one of the first things I want to consider when selecting a location for my tree?
The first thing you should do is identify where in your yard you have enough room to grow a tree. You can do this by drawing a diagram of your yard or taking some simple measurements while you are outside. First thing you should really consider is that trees grow large, both above ground and below. Plant your tree at least 20 feet away from other trees, 3 feet away from property lines or fences, at least 8 feet away from hard surfaces, such as pavement, interlocking bricks, or decks, and at least 10 feet away from buildings with foundations.
So Erin, why are these space considerations so important to follow?
So that your tree can grow full and healthy. You don't want other trees and structures to shade out your tree because this can result in uneven canopy growth.
Right.
And you want each tree to reach its maximum potential. You want to also avoid conflicts. So these spacing requirements are so important because they allow your tree to grow both above and below ground.
We've talked about room for growth in the tree canopy. How does the space below the ground affect tree growth?
I'm glad you asked this question. While most people know that the obvious answer to that question is roots, there are a lot of misconceptions about how and where roots grow. 90% of a tree's roots grow in the top 18 inches of the soil. And the root system can extend 2 to 3 times the width of the canopy. So roots are extremely important for the support of the tree. Before you pick the final spot where you want your tree, you should consider how you use your backyard. For example, where do you walk, play, where do you relax? So you don't want to plant your tree in a place that cuts off a passage, for example, between your back patio and your shed in the backyard. But you do want to plant strategically to provide shade, privacy, and for aesthetics.
Under the resources section, you will find a diagram that will show the optimal distances and directions from the home to plant trees to cool both you and your home. Generally, large growing shade trees planted south and west of the home should do the trick.
And if you want to plant your tree on the north side of your property, consider planting a row of evergreen trees because this acts as a windbreak and can lower your winter heating bills.
Thanks Erin for all your help in helping us choose the right location. I'm going to give this worksheet a try. Now that I've selected the location, it's time for me to pick my tree. Let's go!
Hey Kat.
Hey Janet.
How's it going?
Good. I've selected the location. I'm going to plant my new tree.
Okay, but one more thing to consider before you make that final decision. We should look at your sun and your soil conditions. I can show you how.
Great. Let's go.